I haven't ever written anything before. This is my first book. It came...
Debuteren met een bijbel, dat hoor je niet vaak. De Britse Niki Segnit schreef een smaakbijbel waarin ze 99 ingrediënten onderbracht in families en onderzocht welke daarvan een geslaagd smaakhuwelijk opleveren. Het resultaat is een onderhoudend naslagwerk, waarin je kunt opzoeken of witte chocola bij olijf past of banaan bij kaas.
I came to write it because I became really interested in why different flavors work together, and I wanted to learn more about it. So I went to a bookshop to find a book written about it, and then couldn't find anything about flavor combinations. And in fact, I couldn't really find much about flavor at all. And there was nothing, so in a moment of madness, I thought I would have a go at writing that book myself, and 3 years later it eventually went to the printers, so it was a very long job indeed. Lots of primary research and then trying to kind of write up each and every one of the flavor combinations. I think there are nearly 1,000 in the book. Each and every one of them has at least, has a little paragraph. And so it was an enormous undertaking.
Het is wel, vond ik, een ontzettend vrolijke boek om te lezen. Juist omdat je denkt van, ik ken het wel, maar wat leuk om aan herinnerd weer te worden. Dat vond je echt heel grappig.
I went about doing it by drawing up a list of what I thought were the kind of, the sort of really the most basic ingredients that somebody like me would have in their fridge. And then I sort of took a survey of all the common flavor pairings that were coming up for that ingredient, and then also looking for anything interesting or unusual that was coming up. And so I made this enormous master list, and then I went about kind of writing about something about each one of them. So some of it would be science, some of it's historical, some of it's about how different cultures use those ingredients together. Sometimes it would be a bit of a story about somewhere I've eaten that flavor combination, or a country that typifies that flavor combination.
Er waren twee dingen in de boek, ik moest vreselijk om lachen. En die één was die avocadosoep. De beschrijving ervan wat ik leuk zou, avocadosoep is wel een heel brave jongen. Maar op het moment dat je verse nootmuskaat overheen raspt, dan verandert die in een hele stoute jongen, zoals Javier Bardem. Nou ja, dan ben ik echt zo van, die ga ik maken. Dat is leuk, Javier Bardem.
The first thing to do really is to see what the difference is between taste and flavor. You can pull those things apart. So taste would normally be salt, sweet, sour, bitter, and umami. And flavor is sort of something else. It's what you experience in your olfactory bulb. It's much more a combination of what's going on in your nose and in your taste buds. So that will be, a flavor note would be something more like the things that you see on the back of a bottle of wine, like woody or citrusy or zesty. But even then, there's only a kind of a small group of words perhaps to describe that thing. So then I start looking at different ways of expressing flavour by using metaphor, or actually talking about the personality that the flavour suggests to me. And when you start thinking about flavour in that kind of way, what would this flavour be like if it was a piece of music? And you're talking about combinations, so in a way you have a slight world of language and metaphor and simile available to you. Then it starts to be fun, and hopefully some people will read it and say, yes, I know exactly what she means when she says coriander leaf and lime is like the woo-woos in Rolling Stone's Sympathy for the Devil.
Het hele boek wordt verdeeld in bepaalde types smaken. Dus inderdaad, er zit een soort groenachtige smaak, aardsachtige smaak, mineraalachtige smaken. En dan krijg je dus daar ook een onderscheid in van bepaalde type smaken. En ik vond het juist heel grappig om te denken van, ik wil dus met aardbeien gaan werken. Wat leuk is inderdaad om meteen even te kunnen openslaan en zien van, dat combineert. En misschien weet je het al, maar het is puur het feit dat dit opgeschreven is. En dan brengt je dus weer op een idee, dat ben ik al lang vergeten. Natuurlijk, dat is goed. Dat vond ik juist heel goed van het boek.
Watermelon and rosemary is a really interesting one in the book. That's a recipe, again, from an American food writer who brushes, if you like, watermelon steaks with a rosemary oil and then barbecues them. White chocolate and olive, that was from an American chocolate company. Not always wild combinations or really bizarre ingredients. Sometimes just eating two things together which are perfectly common, that have been sitting in your larder for years and years and years, but you've never actually tried them together. So I'd never tried banana and hard cheese before. But there's a French cheese called Comté, very famous, and they have a recipe on their website which they suggest, trying, which is banana and hard cheese, and I was quite amazed by that. Most food books where you go away having been told what to do, this is a book that just makes your synapses connect and pop, and you will necessarily bring all that you know about food to the book, and it will come together, and off you'll go and create something wonderful of your own. And so I think I'm representative of the kind of person who likes to cook at home, likes to read about food, but wanted something that was different and then also very informative about flavour, but fun to read too.
Deze is mijn combinatie als food pairing: varkensworst met hazelnootsaus. Yes.